Alright guys, we're starting today's video off doing something pretty cool. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I ended up building a custom bike for a guy that comes in the shop. His name is Mike. He's got so many cool, amazing bikes. But he also has a guy that's like, you know, kind of handicapped that's building it. So he's got to have low expectations on this one, I hope. So, let's get to this. Mike, we're going to hand this thing over to you now, man. And thank you so much for letting me build this thing for you, man. I am completely honored. He's actually the one that built the golden double-decker bike for us. He actually wanted us to build him another custom bike, and we actually picked out a bunch of the parts for him. He asked for all of us to kind of pick out each part for it. My job was to pick out the frame, so let's start with the frame right here. Right here is actually a pretty cool frame to me because this is actually one of my first signature bikes that I had. I used to ride for a bike company called Felt. They don't make BMX bikes anymore, but at the time, they were making pretty awesome BMX bikes. Right here is my old signature frame. This is the Felt Franchise Killer. I know it sounds crazy, Franchise Killer. Now that I'm thinking about it as I'm older, it sounds really dumb, but the reason why we called it the Franchise Killer is because I was actually in competitive horseshoeing at one point, and the team that was like known to be the best in our area was called Team Franchise, and we beat them, so we became the Franchise Killers. I know it sounds ridiculous, guys, but when you do things when you're young, you're gonna regret them. So, moving on to the bike is awesome. This is a 20.5 because this is gold. So the 20.5s were gold and the 21s were black. I love the design of this frame. I think this frame was way ahead of its time. It has a bunch of really quality built-in parts to it. It's got built-in chain tensioners in the back that actually bolt into the dropout, which is really cool. The down tube right here is actually shaped like a teardrop, so that means it's oval instead of being circular, and that makes it stronger as well. Really proud of this one, and today we're going to be building this thing up. It's been a real long time since I've seen one of these. Mike wanted a bike that was original, so we had one back here, so we ended up building it up for him. There's a whole lot of parts that we have over there. We're going to be putting these on one by one, and I'm going to be flying through it, and I'll explain a lot of the cool parts that are going on it. First part we are putting on, we have a Snafu jet fuel seat post, and we also have a Sabrosa seat that we're going to be popping on this bad boy. So it's always the first thing I put on bikes when I build up is always a seat. I don't know why exactly, but it just works out that way. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put the front end of the bike on. We're going to start with that one. So over here, I'm just going to bring all the bearings, all the parts for the front end down over. We got gyro, we have gyro plate, we have the handlebars, we have the fork. So finishing the front end of the bike, I got BK here assisting. We have a tall loader fork on it. Up here we have a jet fuel total headset and spacer setup. And one of my favorite parts that's going to be on this bike right here is this ELF stem. So ELF is an old racing company from when I was a kid, and he ended up finding this stem online, and this is one of the parts that he brought here to put on. So seeing this thing is pretty cool, and it's attached to my signature handlebars. It also has a Snafu brake lever as well. But on these grips, you can see these are my old Duo signature grips from years ago. So let's complete the front end real quick. Gotta get the gyro on. This is a jet fuel Snafu gyro that's going to be going on this bike. So the next thing I'm going to show you is one of the coolest parts that is going to be on this bike. Mike actually went and got a Stand with Scotty compression cap for the top of the fork. You can see it's got the original Stand with Scotty design up there with the Vans waffle sole on the bottom, and it has the hashtag Stand with Scotty on it. So this is really cool. Like, completely honored to be putting this one on the bike, especially considering that the last time I built the bike for him was the first time I had built a bike since my accident. So to be able to do this one again, really awesome. So next thing we're going to be putting on is the crank setup. So these are Snafu Mayweather cranks. They are jet fuel as well. As you guys could tell, it's clearly jet fuel and gold is the combination we're going for here. And the sprocket is a Shadow Conspiracy Jesco Trey Jones signature sprocket. And as you can see, Trey Jones actually signed it. So we'll pop the crank on real quick and we will continue on. We'll get this bike completely ready to go for Mike. Right here we have the Snafu Anorexic pedals. These are the ones in black. These are the same pedals that I ride. I mean, these pedals are perfect. They are the best pedals you could possibly get. I mean, for BMX, in my opinion. If you want to get grip for riding BMX, like, these are perfect for it. They're lightweight, they look good. So it's hard holding the tools. It's definitely hard doing like really small adjustments because I can't feel my fingers that great. So when I'm touching metal, like, it just feels all smooth and all the same, so it's really hard to tell the difference. That is definitely the hardest part about building stuff now, but as long as I could see what I'm doing, I could do all right. Let's just say, like, if I have to reach down and I can't see something, I have zero shot of doing it. All right, so we are moving on to the rims. Right here we have a cool set of jet fuel style wheels. What's really cool about this too is you can see the spokes, they are full on twist in between each and every one of these. So just imagine that you have to take a perfectly straight spoke and somehow be able to get it to twist around there. But it's cool, it's original. Mike likes doing cool custom bikes, so it's just awesome to be different. We're gonna pop these bad boys on there, and then we'll get the back one on, and we'll be able to continue on, and we will do the hard stuff, which is putting the chain on and also the brakes. So what's cool about these bolts right here, these are actually titanium bolts that Mike's got on there. He took a page out of Brooklyn's book right there.
You think this bike jack's cool? Wait till you see the next one.
Yeah, BK's bike's coming soon, guys. The ultimate bike. BK's getting the full titanium setup. All right, so we'll get the back wheel on. It looks pretty cool. I like how all the jet fuel complements the gold. And what's cool about the jet fuel is a lot of the jet fuel has gold that's inside of it. So you can see part of it has the gold there. It's got the yellow kind of gold to it. Brake lever, everything else. So it'll complement it a little bit, which is pretty awesome. So we have the chain, which is a gold Shadow Conspiracy chain. We've already cut it to size, which is great. So more gold. So what's cool about the Shadow chain is it's got its own chain breaker. So we could use the Shadow chain breaker, get this thing to go, well, not the chain breaker, now it's the chain fixer technically, but we could put it back into place. It's a really awesome tool. You can still put it in Big Boy's hands. It'll be a chain breaker. That's a guarantee.
Good chain destroyer.
So you gotta make sure that you get the pin perfectly balanced in between each of the links. Boom, there we go. Look at that, hard part over, at least one of them.
Oh, you did that pretty easy.
You know how many times I've done that and then it's nowhere near where it needs to be to get it on the actual bike?
Yeah?
Yeah, it's the worst thing in the world. You just get so frustrated.
Beautiful. And we could pull it back, we could adjust that one, but we gotta do these brakes. This is gonna be fun. So we got some brake arms we're gonna start with. We'll pop these things on, but it's hard doing brakes because there's so many little parts. You gotta tighten these little bolts that are on there. You gotta do the springs and everything. It is not gonna be fun, guys. At the same time, it's gonna be kind of cool putting it together. It's always fun doing brakes for me. I always enjoyed it when I was a kid. Put this other side on, and then I'm gonna get the rest of the Allen key stuff out, and then I will tighten it all up. And then we will do the cables, which is equally as enjoyable. So what we do now is we put the barrel adjusters on. These are the parts that hold the cable that go and complete the gyro setup. A lot of you guys that are brakeless, you guys won't ever need a barrel adjuster in your life. It's a little more time consuming this way, but you could definitely do more tricks if you have this set up, that's for sure. And what's cool about it too is, you know, Mike's able to get the gyro and he's able to get, you know, all the other stuff along with it, which, you know, is even more cool parts to put on the bike. That's how he wants to do it. Pop the cable into the brake. So this is one of those hard things. Oh, there we go. As I'm saying it, it all works out perfectly. I can't really feel this kind of thing, so it's a lot of little individual things I got to do to it. Like, I know how it's supposed to go together, but it's just hard to do. All right, guys, we are officially all done with the bike. So now I got to safely get it down without scratching it. Could be difficult. It's actually really light. A lot lighter than I expected. Alright guys, so we're going to be debuting this thing outside. It looks pretty awesome. Just seeing the jet fuel shining right now, this thing looks awesome. The wheels look really good. The whole bike in general. We tried to make something different and original. That was the game plan with this, and I think it turned out exactly what that is right there. Everything from the twist lace spokes to the old frame to the elf stem that's on this bike. Really cool. So the next thing to do, I'm going to be breaking in. I'm going to do a test ride with it real quick and make sure this thing is good to go for Mike so he can come pick it up.
Do you know how many people would love to say that Scotty Cranmer rode their bike? I can't even say that. You never actually rode my bike.
I don't want to.
You should though. It does cool things.
Are you okay?
So I'm going to christen this bike right now. I'm just going to cruise around, make sure everything's nice and tight. I mean, I'm the one that put it together after all, so blame comes back onto me. And maybe we'll do like a gap off a curb for Mike. I think he'll get a kick out of that.
First ride. Man, it's weird seeing you on one of your old signatures. Look good though.
It's been a while.
That bike shines so bright. It's insane.
How does it look while I'm riding it?
Looks good, dude. It's loud, that's for sure. Here he comes.
It's for Mike.
Yeah. That was dialed. You didn't even drop front end on that one. You picked up back
I made
front
sure I
everything.
picked it up. I learned how to bunny hop recently. I'm getting back in there.
Dude, I felt what it felt like to bunny hop like you recently, and it is tough stuff.
Got some squeaky brakes though. I'll have to do adjust them bad boys. All right guys, so we're gonna end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this bike build from Mike. We're gonna call Mike right now, let him know that his bike's done so he can come pick this one up. It's so awesome having a bike shop like this where people come in and they want to get bikes from you. Full custom bikes like this, completely different than anybody else out there. We're really proud that we're able to do that here at the bike shop. And we actually have a big surprise for you guys. So we're gonna be actually launching an online store. Our online store is up and running right now. We didn't do the actual full reveal just yet. We're actually making a video for that one that will be out in a couple days. But if you guys want to check it out, it is scbicycles.com, and you guys can order whatever bike parts you guys want from there. Maddie and Brooklyn will be putting together the bikes if you guys order complete. So so go check it out right now. But guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Until next time, remember to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Peace.